This week, the Republicans in the House of Representatives, I mean, they've been naming post offices and voting to end Obamacare, but they've got a vote coming up on food stamps. And they want to throw 4 to 6 million people, many of them children, off food stamps. In a time when 40% of America is living below the poverty level, people are hungry, jobs are, non-existent, decent jobs are pretty much non-existent. Just all this terrible stuff, all these horrible consequences of 32 years of Reaganomics. And make no mistake about it, Bill Clinton did some marvelous things. He was such a better president than Bob Dole would have been or the George Herbert Walker Bush would have been. I mean, there's just no doubt in my mind about that. And probably a better president than Ross Perot would have been. Certainly more thoughtful on things like foreign policy. But Bill Clinton did not reverse Reaganomics. Ronald Reagan actually instituted a revolution. When they say the Reagan Revolution, they're talking a real revolution. There was the revolution of 1920. It was the Harding Revolution, which led to the Great Crash. Then there was the FDR Revolution, called the New Deal. The New Deal stood until 1980, and it was taken down by the Reagan Revolution. And we are still operating under Reaganomics. And the way that you will know when we're no longer operating under Reaganomics, and I'll give you just three simple metrics, that the era of Reaganomics is dead. These are the three things to look for. Number one, when the top tax rate on people making more than $3 million a year goes above 50%. That's number one. Because that will immediately slow down the churn, the froth in the financial markets. All the gambling, all the hot money. Because whenever the top tax rate is over 3%, America has a stable economy. We did from World War II until 1983. You have a stable economy. When the top tax rate goes below 50%, the economy gets very, very unstable because rich people have all kinds of money and start playing with it. Start gambling with it. So number one, when the top tax rate goes up. Number two, when we change our trade policies so that the importation of goods from low-wage countries has, there's a couple of ways to accomplish this, has attached to it a fee, a tariff, a tax, whether it's a value-added tax or a tariff, depending on how you put it together, that says you just can't import this stuff, so that American workers are having to compete with foreign workers, or American companies are having to compete with foreign companies that don't have the same environmental rules or the same labor standards. So, taxes, trade. There's actually, pardon? Yeah. Well, there's several other things that you could add in there. One would be that the banks, the one I was originally thinking of was that you would see that the Sherman Antitrust Act is being enforced again. As I'm talking, I'm going through all the damage that Reagan has done, and it's kind of hard to quantify it. But I think the third big one, is you will see the deconsolidation of business in America. Right now, there is not a single major industry in America that is not controlled by fewer than 5 companies. And it used to be 30, 40, 50 companies would compete in major industries. And so, because we used to enforce the Sherman Antitrust Act. So when small business returns to Main Street, I'm starting to make the list in my head, okay, when labor unions return, when the minimum wage goes up, when taxes go up on the rich, you go through the list of things that Reaganomics, the ways that Reaganomics have devastated this country. Anyhow,
you go again.
Yes. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you.